camp this past weekend in Greenville. His health and kind of maybe his last shot to make the most of the opportunity. The five-star that came in here, but sometimes it takes it.
It does. For him, the transition was a little bit different. The level of play was a lot different, but he's healthy, smiling, he's bouncing around, so I'm looking forward to seeing his play during camp.
How did you handle the adversity? In high school, everything went so well. How did you handle the adversity that you faced?
Well, for any young kid, it's different, and sometimes you have to walk them through. And the fact that I've been in a similar situation as he has in my career, so it's easy to relate to. And it's been difficult, but it's a growing process, and I think he's come out on the other side and he's a better man of it.
Do you feel like you have three starters at cornerback just going into the season right off the bat?
Yes, and that's a good thing. A lot of those guys have proven themselves, quality time and experience, so I feel very comfortable throwing any one of those combinations out there to play.
What do Avieon and Ashton have to do to kind of take that next step?
Continue to develop, work, progress as a leader, become more vocal. I think that's going to be a big task for them this year. And just, let their play, speak for itself.
What does Avieon need to do to put himself right there with some of the best that have ever played the position? He's got the ability, trending in that direction, in your opinion?
He is. Consistency. And that's what you want, in this day and age for young men, is to be consistent. The highs and lows, be, a lot different this year.
Corian, last year at this time you were really excited about him, and then he ran into the injury bug. How's he progressing? What does he need to do to earn some playing time?
For him is to be 100%. The reason why he's here is because he's a tremendous athlete, great young man, fast, and I think the competition of the group, has kind of brought him along, and I think he'll be a big surprise this year.
How would you kind of describe the intensity and energy of this group, especially since Coach Allen's
Great. I mean, being a DB, you have to have those intangibles of, being aggressive. As I say, we're the kids that play in the sandbox by ourselves. So you got to be one of those kids that can, motivate yourself and compete.
What do you tell the guys when they're looking at the schedule right off the bat? They know they're going to get some of the best wideouts, the best quarterbacks in the nation.
One day at a time. I mean, you can't look further. You just got to look at the opponent in front of us, and the opponent right now is training camp. Getting better in training camp, and then we'll go proceed thereafter.
Have you noticed that in those situations in your past, it helps with focus and attention to detail early on when you know that you want to be playing your best football really quickly?
Well, for us, on the other side of the ball, we have a very, very good offense. So every day is a competition. I mean, nobody wants to get embarrassed, and we talked about, from our offensive players, as well as our offensive players don't want to be talked about by our defensive players. So we get challenged every day in practice. So, I mean, it's a good thing to have.
What impresses you about Ashton Hampton and just the body size that kind of makes him unique?
I mean, he's different, You don't see too many young men that tall with that type of ability. And when you get one, it's almost like a unicorn. It's like they don't come often, but when you do have one, you cherish it.
What about his freshman season impressed you? Where do you think kind of the next step for Ashton?
The fact that he was able to come in and transition so quickly. He was a kid that wasn't a mid-year. He came in June and continually got better and better and better, and then he cracked the lineup and was very consistent, from a mental aspect. A lot of kids that freshman year, they hit the wall, and he was a kid that really didn't hit the wall. He just kept progressing, which was good.
Kind of shifting from this team, how has the house settlement changed the way you have to recruit?
I don't know, because it hasn't changed. I'm a relationship kind of guy. Some people don't want to play the relationship kind of game, and it kind of, it kind of filters things out for people. For me, I lead with my heart a lot, so it hasn't really affected me.
Are you able to kind of filter those guys out pretty quickly? Are you able to tell pretty quickly what people are after?
Clemson's different anyway, so we recruit differently. So it doesn't really hasn't affected me in the way we've done things.
Is Misun Kelley going to play some DB?
I hope so. You better.
He's kind of bounced around. How hard is it to try to find his place?
Well, I don't think it's hard. It's just how well he learns the system. Because even though you have the ability to do it, you still got to have the mental capacity to learn the play, to know what you're doing, and he has. He's a very smart young man, talented. God's blessed him with some unbelievable skills.
Jake Lucas kind of lost his starters. I believe this season Ashton Hampton, but he decided to stay with Clemson. What does that kind of say about his mentality, just even though things didn't go as well, he decided to return back to the first season?
Well, you like it in this day and age where kids are just jumping in the portal and running from competition. He's a young man that understands, he has a good self-awareness, and he understands what he needs to do to get better. And it's been proven you don't always have to be a starter to play in the NFL. Years previously, we've had a young man, Mark Fields, that played 2 years in the NFL, and he didn't start a game here at Clemson. So you control your own destiny. And like I said, for him, it was great to see that because it shows a sign of maturity.
With revolutionary starting on July 1st, has that kind of impacted recruiting? I know Clemson kind of focused more so on like culture relations, but with money being so heavily talked about nationally, is that kind of something that's been different for coaches?
Well, it's like I compare it to the NFL, which is not the NFL. Coaches don't talk about money. I don't talk about money because I don't control money. I control coaching, and developing young men. So I leave that to somebody else. I don't want that extra pressure.
Between the coaches, who would you say is the most competitive out there?
Most competitive? Wow. I can't say who's the most because we all want to win. So we're all competitive. I wouldn't say one's more competitive than the other. We all are. That's the nature of the game. That's the nature of the business.
Do you have a song or something that gets you hyped before training or anything?
Man, for me, man, it's getting up in the morning and putting my feet on the ground. That's my motivation. Because you're in a day and age now where you're not promised to wake up in the next day. So for me to wake up the next day and be able to do what I do, that's my motivation. Exactly.
What about like Ashton entering your second season? What was like to see him kind of hone in on as he enters his second season?
I wouldn't say hone in. I would just say, continue to develop holistically. Not just on the football field, but certain things off the field, and becoming a more vocal leader, taking that type of initiative, serving a little bit more. It's a lot, that I ask and require of my guys. So I'll never be satisfied.
With Tom Allen, what's some of the things kind of see the difference between him and what's a little bit so far about Tom?
They're two different, totally different, two different people. Love both of them. I love Wes. Wes, the first guy I worked with when I got here, who taught me the defense scheme on the Venables. Tom was a great coach, great motivator. I love people. So for me, that's all I'm about. Appreciate it. Go Westlake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really amazed the other day. Not that I should really care about this guy.
Hey Ross, we're doing a sleep study.
Clemson. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
There goes that guy on my TV.
Somebody finally got on his case or something.
Right.
No, if we need to cut this into multiple parts, we can.
Perfect.
Let the YouTube audience watch you just hang out here for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, big dog? What's up, man?
Who's that guy talking about? Him. No.
Is that Greenville Drive at?
It is. I have one. I decided, since I was wearing my Anderson University hat,
Okay.
I thought, well, since I covered Greenville, Anderson, and Spartanburg for Gannett and USA Today, I saw I need to get the Greenville one. And then I did a Spartanburger game,
Wow.
and I thought, I need a Spartanburger hat.
Yeah.
$43 plus tax. Do you remember when a fitted hat was like $20 and you thought that was
Yeah.
high?
Yeah.
And you thought that was like expensive or something?
Heck no.
But these, I like the fitted hats.
Okay.
Yeah, they just, I don't know why. I can't stand the little thing in the back.
Back,
Some people
yeah.
love it. That's fine.
Okay. Good deal.
But I thought it matched my
I'm doing
shirt.
great, man. How about you?
It matches my shirt though.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got to get Ben. Is Ben gonna come here?
Yeah, take your time, bro. I ain't going nowhere.
Be good to
Y'all hustling.
get Ben.
You all right?
Yeah, so they're just gonna like rotate us
Wherever, yeah.
When's